Ron Ely, the actor best known for his iconic portrayal of Tarzan in the 1960s television series, has passed away at the age of 86. His daughter, Kirsten Ely, shared the heartbreaking news on her Instagram account and confirmed it to Fox News Digital. Passing of Ron Ely marks the end of an era for many who grew up watching his portrayal of the jungle hero, but for those closest to him, it is the loss of a loving father, mentor, and friend. In a poignant Instagram post, Kirsten Ely wrote, "The world has lost one of the greatest men it has ever known, and I have lost my dad." She captured the depth of her feelings as she expressed the profound impact her father had on not only the world but also her personal life. For many, Ron Ely was more than just an actor who portrayed a beloved character. He was a symbol of strength, charisma, and unwavering dedication to his craft. "My father was someone that people called a hero," she continued. "He was an actor, writer, coach, mentor, family man, and leader. He created a powerful wave of positive influence wherever he went." Ely's influence on those around him seemed to transcend the screen. He became a figure whose presence was felt not only in his professional endeavors but also in the lives of those he encountered. Kirsten touched on this when she wrote, "The impact he had on others is something that I have never witnessed in any other person. There was something truly magical about him." This magic, as Kirsten noted, wasn't just what audiences saw when they watched Tarzan or any of Ely's numerous other performances. It was something deeply personal, something that made him stand out as a father. "This is how the world knew him. I knew him as my dad, and what a heaven-sent honor that has been. To me, he hung the moon." It is clear that Ely's life was not one of mere success in Hollywood, but a journey that was driven by love, perseverance, and a desire to make the lives of those he loved better. "My father's life story was one of relentless perseverance, unending dedication to his family and friends, courage to do what was right, and willing sacrifice to facilitate the dreams of those he loved," Kirsten continued. "It was also a story of joy and love, something everyone close to him had the privilege of experiencing." This statement beautifully encapsulates the true essence of who Ron Ely was, a man who loved deeply and worked tirelessly to uplift those around him. Kirsten's words also captured the emotional turmoil of navigating such a tremendous loss. She expressed how she is trying to cope with the death of her father in the best way she knows, drawing from the strength he imparted to her. "I am doing my best to walk this path of loss with the strength and grace that I know he would want for me," she wrote. In her heartfelt tribute, she poignantly described how, in the aftermath of his passing, she finds solace by holding on to memories and parts of him that remain in her heart. "I am picking up the pieces of my heart that feel like pieces of him and cementing those firmly in place before I pick up the rest of the broken bits. It makes me feel like part of him is still here, and I need that, and the world needs that." Her final reflection in the post revealed the deep sense of comfort and sorrow that accompanies the knowledge that her father is now reunited with other loved ones who had passed before him, including her mother and brother. "My greatest comfort is knowing that my dad is with my mama and my brother. It is also my greatest sadness because I miss them all so much that it's etched into my soul. I will proudly carry all of my favorite pieces of them, lovingly cemented into my heart until we all meet again." Ely passed away on September 29th at the home of one of his daughters near Santa Barbara, California, as reported by the New York Times. The loss of the beloved actor has been met with an outpouring of tributes from fans, friends, and colleagues alike, all of whom remembered him not only for his career but for the personal connections he made throughout his life. Ron Ely's career began long before his iconic turn as Tarzan. He first gained attention in the 1950s, playing supporting roles in popular television shows such as Father Knows Best, How to Marry a Millionaire, and The Many Loves of Dobie Gillis. However, it was his role as the vine-swinging hero in NBC's Tarzan that cemented his place in television history. From 1966 to 1968, Ely portrayed the Jungle Man in a series that modernized the character for a new generation. Unlike previous depictions, which often showed Tarzan as a primitive figure who could only communicate through grunts, Ely's version of the character was a modern man who had returned to the jungle after time in the civilized world. The show shed the image of a simple brute and instead offered audiences a more complex, intelligent version of the character, while still keeping fan-favorite elements like Tarzan's chimpanzee sidekick, Cheetah. Throughout his time as Tarzan, Ron Ely left an indelible mark on television. Character became a cultural touchstone during the show's 2-year, 57-episode run. While some might assume that such a role would define his career, Ely continued to expand his acting repertoire in the years that followed. He starred in the 1975 action-adventure film Doc Savage, The Man of Bronze, and made numerous guest appearances on popular TV shows throughout the 1970s, 80s, and 90s, including Wonder Woman, The Love Boat, Fantasy Island, Marcus Welby, MD, and LA Law. After decades in the industry, Ron Ely took a step back from acting in the 1990s to focus on raising his 3 children, Kirsten, Caitlin, and Cameron. This decision to prioritize his family spoke volumes about the kind of man Ely was, one who valued the well-being and growth of his loved ones above all else. It was not until 2014 that Ely made his return to the small screen with the television movie Expecting Amish. The film told the story of a young woman who, on the verge of joining the Amish church, travels to Hollywood and gets a taste of life beyond her insulated world. Reflecting on his decision to return to acting after such a long hiatus, Ely told the Fresno Bee that stepping away from his career had been motivated by his desire to be more present for his family. "I stepped out of acting to raise a family and be able to spend more time with them here in Santa Barbara," he explained. "Now all the kids are through college with advanced degrees. My family asked me, 'What are you hanging around for?' I started looking around and this film came up. Felt so good making the movie, I wish I had never left." While Ron Ely's life and career were filled with triumphs, they were also marked by tragedy. In 2019, Ely's wife of 35 years, Valerie Lundeen Ely, was brutally murdered at their home in Santa Barbara. The shocking incident occurred when law enforcement responded to reports of a family disturbance at the Ely residence. Upon arrival, police discovered that Valerie had been stabbed to death, and in a subsequent confrontation, Ely's son Cameron was shot and killed by deputies. Authorities later claimed that Cameron had killed his mother and that they were forced to use deadly force against him. The family tragedy left the public stunned and shattered Ron Ely's life in unimaginable ways. In 2020, Ely filed a lawsuit against the Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Department and 4 deputies, alleging that they had used excessive and negligent deadly force against his son. In his lawsuit, Ely claimed that Cameron had his hands up when he was shot and that the deputies failed to provide timely medical care to both his wife and son. However, a federal jury ruled against Ely in 2022, concluding that the deputies' actions were justified given the circumstances. The tragic loss of his wife and son, coupled with the legal battle that followed, marked a deeply painful chapter in Ron Ely's life. Yet, through it all, he remained a figure of grace and strength. A man who, despite the overwhelming heartache, continued to carry himself with the dignity and perseverance for which he had always been known. As the world reflects on the life and legacy of Ron Ely, it is clear that his impact was far-reaching. From his memorable role as Tarzan to his tireless devotion to his family, Ely's presence will be missed by many. His journey was one filled with love, success, tragedy, and resilience, an unforgettable story of a man who left an indelible mark on the hearts of those who knew him.